Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given health, blessing, and sufficient for all of us. Secondly, my salawat and salam for our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has given goodness in the world. And I would like thanks to Mr. Mardi, MPD, as lecturer of Research Methodology Discourse. My name is Reza Khairunnisa from English Education Department in 4th semester. Okay, I will present my presentation with title The Qualitative Research Method Steps. First, let's look at the table of contents. The first one, there is identify the problem. Then, we will talk about the second is literature review, and then the third is research purpose, and the fourth there is data collection, and then fifth is observation. In the next slide, we will talk about the sample, and then data analysis, interpretation, and the last is the result of research writing. In the first slide, there is about identify the problem. This problem is usually preceded by reflective questions about issues that are currently hot and controversial and require answers or solutions. There are several guiding questions such as why is this problem important to be a research target, being investigate, what processes are actually going on around the event, and so on. Especially for qualitative methods, the problem is usually not very clear at first. The problem is also quite flexible. Focus is built gradually on the data from the participants as well as the influence of the research personal reflection. The second slide, there is literature review. Literature review is written material in the form of books, journals that discuss the topic to be researched. The literature review helps the researchers to see the ideas, opinions, and criticisms on the topic that were previously constructed and analyzed by previous scientists. The importance of a literature review to see and analyze the added value of the study compared to previous studies. Okay, we move to the next slide. There is research purpose. The main purpose of qualitative research is to capture the deepest meaning of an event, symptom, fact, event, reality, or problem, and not to study or prove the existence of a causal relationship or correlation of a problem or event. Therefore, the qualitative method doesn't use a hypothesis because the hypothesis is usually tested with statistics. Okay, the fourth slide, there is data collection. Research data can be in the form of text, photos, numbers, stories, pictures, artifacts. Qualitative research data are usually in the form of text, photos, stories, images, artifacts, and not in the form of number. According to Pattern 2002 presents three types of data. First is the data obtained through in-depth interviews using open-ended questions. The second is data obtained through observation, and the third is the document. Documents are written materials that are stored. Documents can be memorabilia or correspondence. The fifth slide is about observation. Observation is part of data collection. Observation means collecting data directly from the field. In the qualitative tradition, data will not be obtained behind the desk, but must go into the field, to networks, to organizations, to communities. Observable data can be in the form of a description of attitudes, behavior, actions, overall interactions between humans. Observational data can also be in the form of interactions within an organization or the experience of members in the organization. The main purpose of observation is to describe the observed situation. The next step is sample. The sample for qualitative methods is purposive, meaning that it is in accordance with the aims and objectives of study. Qualitative method samples don't emphasize the number or representation, but rather on the quality of information, credibility, and wealth of information held by the informants or participants. General benchmarks for samples: the number is small because with a small number of researchers, we'll be able to collect in-depth data. The number can vary from 1 to 40, but a large number will be a problem because there will be repetition of information. The seventh slide, there is interview. Interviews were conducted to obtain information, which could not be obtained through observation or questionnaires. This is because research can't observe all of them. Not all data can be obtained by observation. Therefore, the researcher must ask questions to the participants. In interviews, researchers not only ask questions, but gain an understanding of other people's life experience. And this can only be obtained by in-depth interview. This experience and opinions are the basis for the data that will be analyzed later. Okay, so the next slide is about data analysis. The data can be analyzed with the following steps. The first is reading the data obtained many times while reducing overlapping or repetitive information. Second, look at the significance or importance of the data obtained. The third is classifying or coding data that has similarities or matches with other data. The results of this data classification are then made labels or labeling. Fourth is to look for patterns or themes that bind one's thoughts to one another. And fifth, construct a framework to get the essence of what the data wants to convey. And the next is interpretation. Interpretation means developing ideas based on findings and connecting them with existing theories or with broader and deeper concepts. There are several purposes of types of interpretation. First, interpretation that strengthens theories, ideas, concepts, findings from previous studies or confirmation. Second, an interpretation that clarifies the unclear theories, ideas, concepts, view, or result of previous research. Third, interpretation that aims to clarify what is hidden. And the last of the qualitative research methods steps is the result of research writing. Research reports are usually divided into several sections. Number 1 is title, author's name. Number 2, abstract. Number 3, foreword or acknowledgement. Number 4, literature review. Number 5, methodology. And number 6 is the results of the study contain discussions and conclusion. Okay, I think that's all presentation for me. Thank you for your attention and sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.